What's up, y'all? It's your girl Lex back with another one. This is Lex Talk About It. Let's get it. I want to say thank you to everybody that have tuned in to all the previous shows, keeping up with me. Thank you for the support and love. That's what's up. Let's keep it going. Y'all, these weeks are going by mighty fast. We about to be in September, like already. This summer went by fast. And just speaking of time and transitioning and just making a difference and like new changes, if you had 30 minutes to choose 5 things to change, add, or remove from your life at this standpoint, the first thing I would say that I would like to change or work on is the community, bringing everybody together, working on things together. I feel that we don't work together. I feel that we don't build each other. We don't support each other. And that's what take us longer to develop new things or to accomplish a goal. Because I feel that with support given, it can develop and elevate an individual, a party, or a group faster. And just to look at society, I feel that if we come together, it will be less chaos. If we can, and it's not just supporting one another or, helping or leading. It's more to it. I believe it started back in your household. We need to uplift each other. We need to be more present with each other when it comes to family and friends. And just as people, we just need to do better with listening, getting more involved, hearing people out and not judge them, in any way, because we're only human. And the reason I say support or be present and be there for someone or help give insight, because that what makes the world go around. That is what helps us grow and develop in so many areas, starting off with confidence, bravery, less doubt, less depression. If we could really take our time and to really think about somebody else throughout the day, rather than just thinking about ourselves on a day-to-day, I believe that, the world will be much more calmer, patient. There will always be chaos because wherever it's people is going to be chaos. That's just how it is. But what I'm trying to say here, growing up, I feel that I wasn't supported in the areas that I feel that I needed the most supported, such as coming out the closet. I came out the closet at 20 years old, but I knew I was gay since the age of 15. And I had to hold it in. I actually hid my relationships. I wasn't in that many, but at that time, I actually was involved with 2 people during that time frame. Not at the same time, but you get what I mean. And I just feel that if we can just start supporting one another, just listening to one another, it's just, we tend to get people judgment responses, like a response of judgment rather than a response as in being, being an active listener right along, just not, making it about them. And I believe a judgment is when another person making it about them. And it's just, to me, that's your opinion. That is how you feel. That's how you see things. And that's where it comes along where people are selfish, I believe. They only see things go one way, and it's amazing because truth is, it can go as many ways as far as we can see. You know what I mean? Who knows? And I just feel that with support in those areas such as school, college, being a parent, looking for jobs, want to further your education and don't know how. A relationship. It's just so much areas where we're not being supported in. And I feel that if we had support in some of those areas, such as, let's jump to relationships. When it comes to just a relationship, in that relationship, or just looking in on that relationship, I feel that we need to listen more. That's the problem of today. We're not listening. We really, most of us, and it shows that 80% of the world is closed-minded. And that's the problem, where we tend to overlook other ways of things that could possibly happen, and we tend to also look over ways that things can possibly change, or other ways that we just closed off to other ways. Let's just say that. And it's not healthy. It's not right either, to the point where we're not giving every area its opportunity to expand, because just support goes a long way. And supporting people help them brighten up their soul. It enhances their mind. It helps them develop in many areas, because you're giving them something to believe in. You're giving them faith, less doubting. You're giving them possibilities, opportunities. And that's just by being a supporter. You don't even have to physically give. You don't even have to say too much. You don't even have to say anything. But just being present and showing that you're supporting, that makes a difference for any atmosphere, any environment, any individual. Just being present, just showing acknowledgement is supporting. I feel that when it comes to life changes, when it comes to making quick changes, we automatically throw a judgment of how we feel about a fucking situation when we're not listening and seeing the whole situation. And I'm a Libra. I'm on my balance scales. So I see things both ways. I'm an open-minded person. I love to see all areas of the spectrum. I love to see things, all the way through before I give any input, insight, opinion, or comment to it. I need to see what it is before I can just hear one half of it and hear the other half and not actually seeing what happened. And it's not just that. When it comes to choosing schools, when it comes to teens graduating, what's the next step for them? They hear their parents left and right, go to school, or they hear you need to get a job, or you need to do this, you need to do that. What do we call that? That's judgment. It's judgment. And I'm not saying every kid don't need to hear that, every young adult or adult don't need to hear that. Hey, we're all different. We all taking things differently. Some things hit someone different. But what I have witnessed and have seen and what I have experienced myself is lack of support in all areas of life. We need to first listen. Hear where it is going wrong and hear the strength of that person when they talk. How can you provide and benefit that area for them without, putting you in it, or without belittling them or telling them no? To me, when it comes to, this is the truth. Truth is, when I was 18 and graduated from high school, I really didn't want to go to college. And in my situation, we all have situations. We all go through depression. We all have, things that have happened in the past as kids, young adults, however, whatever. And, by the balance of, work, life, school, there comes challenges. And then it's just so much pressure. We can eliminate that pressure by just listening, by being a supporter. And a supporter doesn't mean you have to agree with the actual situation or the scenario or the event or even just the atmosphere. It's just being present. It's being present, because we're not going to agree to everything. But who are we to judge? Who are we to make a comment on something that don't have shit to do with us? I can understand if you're 100% involved, such as a relationship. I believe you should sacrifice in relationships. I believe that you need to understand what each person wants and deliver it the best way you can. And the only way that growth and patience in a relationship could possibly develop, no matter what it is, it's about learning each other. It's about learning what you like and you don't like as well. And when it comes to just not liking what someone do or what they have going on, it's really not up to you. But what you could do is be a listening ear, be patient, no judgment. That's all. And just going back to high school, because it's a lot of, I work with a lot of kids over like years and years, and I get that feedback a lot of today, where kids are being judged by parents, family members, relatives, hearing that, like, you know, this, that, and the third, or doubting them, like, well, you ain't gonna better do this, you're not gonna better do that, or do this or do that. It's just like, stop creating people paths for them. Stop putting things in people's head and allowing them to run with it. Give them real, true confidence. Even if you don't like what you hear or you feel that it's a bad decision, all you can do is listen and let it be known of things that could or things that possibly, but to automatically give that person your opinion on their situation is not healthy either. You know, it's not. And to just put in what you want to do, like how you want your kids to go to certain schools, how you want your, and I'm talking about college. A lot of these parents are forcing these kids to go to certain colleges and not the colleges they want to go to. And to me, that is a problem, because now they're just working for you. Let's just keep it short and simple. They're working for you. And the reason I say that is because, first of all, they don't get to choose where they want to go. So that means they're not going to be interested in the field that they're going to study. And what that means is they're going to really not put as much energy in it if it was something they really wanted to do. Now, say if they went to school and they chose their field of study, but that still will affect them in a way, because it wasn't what they chose. It's not what they had in mind. It's not what they wanted. And I understand by giving people more to look at, more information, more results, more anything, but to make somebody mind up is not healthy. It's not healthy, because now you're belittling them and now you're telling them something that you see that might not be able to happen for them. And to me, we want to brighten the horizon for our young adults, just for people in general. You want to show that you care. And in this world, it's maybe like half of this stuff I don't agree with. But how do I pinpoint and, share information, and how I express ways of development? And this is how I come into every situation. How can I guide you? How can I lead you without actually giving you something to really do? I want to help develop and open up your mind. So I want to give you more opportunity. I want to give you more of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to brainstorm. I'm going to help you investigate. I'm going to help you research. I'm going to help you get to where you want to be. And if I find that, if it's something that I feel like it's not good, like, let's just say, good example, the military. Sorry, but the military. So, and this is true. I did not want my ex to go to the military, but it was not up to me, and it wasn't my decision. It wasn't my judgment call. She had her, her reason. She had her truth. She knew what she was going to do. She knew how she was going to do it. She had a plan. And who was I, even if I was, let's say, married to her, who was I to stop her from doing something that she have a plan for? And all I could do is just see it through and guide her and back her up. I'm not gonna jeopardize. And like, of course I didn't want her going to the military. You know, of course, we're young as hell. We're young adults, freshman year of college, you know, and of course. But then, like, if, like I said, making that judgment call on someone else is selfish. Even if we don't see it like that, it is. Because who am I to criticize or judge or tell her not to go? And when it comes to jobs, like, where I feel like as of today, it's hard to get a job. And it's so much judgment and less support in that area of employment. And what I mean is family. What I mean is peers. If you know someone trying to do something or make a difference for their life, why not give them guidance? Why not help them? Why belittle them and tell them, you should do this, you should do that? Why try to make them change make that change for them right along? Just help them develop more opportunities so they can possibly make their own changes to their own lifestyle. That's where I'm getting to. We need to just give more insight and more input, more information. And that doesn't mean we have to judge. And I feel that if we're judging, we don't care so much about what's happening in front of us. Because if you cared, you would have actually participated. You would have actually got involved. You would have seen it all the way through rather than just throwing a judgment call. And that's such as college. People send their kids off to college and just leave them there, not providing, anything they need. Like me, I had a job all the way through college, more than one actually, and I took care of myself all the way. And I was also in a relationship, so I also took care of that household throughout my whole college career, literally. Paying bills, 2 jobs, and in college full time, literally. And like, all I mean is, I feel that it's really not easy, but with support in all those areas, we're talking as parenting, if we had just a little more support to maybe, and I don't mean as physical support, let me put that out there, not physical, but mental. And that start off by listening. That start off by just being yourself. That start off just saying, okay, so this is your goal. This is what you want to do. Okay. Like, have you looked at these? Or I'm going to send you things of this because that's your area. Or when it comes to support as in dating, like parents and families is so much involved with their kids and their kids' relationships. And that's also a problem in today's world, where they have so much to say, but they're not really supporting their child or the bond. And I'm not saying, go out there and support every relationship and shit like that. No, it's more so as in, if you know this person, you know how this person is, you raise this person, or you just really close to this person, you have love for this person, and they're dating someone that's probably the complete opposite of them. Let's just say that, because that's more than likely 80% what goes on in the world today. And you don't like this person like, rude, disrespectful, don't do anything for the other person, very selfish, let's just say this. And what's your input on that? And it's your daughter, So what I can honestly say for this is less judgment. Let's just throw that out there. And this is what any conversation of today I will have with anybody. And as in, my close friends would know that I'm not a judgmental person. I try to see things through and help make a difference in a way that could possibly benefit that person in a good way. in their environment. I always look for good. I always want to put in good. I always want to do good. Even if I give it my all and it don't come out as perfect, or, come out as good, whatever. I do the best I can, and I bring my best self to every area of my life. And when it comes to real situations, when it comes to people asking me for advice. Now, most of you guys don't know what I'm in school for. I already have like a bachelor's in communications and in public relations, and also in social media marketing. And now I'm furthering my education, and I took 2 years off. I graduated in 2020, right there during the pandemic, and yeah. So just to spin back off of that, people come to me looking for advice, input, or just anything. It doesn't matter. I'm open. I'm more than likely to listen. I love to help. I love to guide, because that's my field of study now. I'm a counselor. I am studying family medicine. I'm becoming a therapist for families. And my goal is to work in hospitals, for real. But other than that, I'm jumping around. We're going to get right back to it. Support goes a long way. And